like do it, so when I saw the ball, I thought, why not, we'll have a go, eh? Just so you know, I have got 2 sleeper agents here, so if there are any jokes you don't find funny, you're going to get dragged by the shoulders, they're going to laugh at you very aggressively and say, ha ha ha, isn't he funny? So just to reiterate, as Pete said, thanks, cheers. Just to reiterate, as Pete said, my name's Tom. I can see some people of the older generation in the crowd, so I'll say it a bit louder for them, we might have hearing aids in. My name's Tom, and this is comedy. Knock knock. Margaret likes that one. You like that one, Margaret? Yeah? Do you remember being young, Margaret? I remember being young. Margaret, I love being young. One thing I took from being young was how we were always told we could do anything when we grew up, which was an obvious lie. We were just lied to. Do you really think Aaron, who's growing up on a council estate, whose mum's struggling with a drink problem and is living hand to mouth, is really going to grow up and be a brain surgeon? I don't think so. And I think there's 2 reasons, really, we're telling young people these lies. Number 1, we don't have the heart to tell young people that they're not going to grow up and do whatever they want. I mean, look at me, I want to work in the motor trade and I can't drive. And number 2, we enjoyed these times when we thought we could do anything when we grew up. They were the best years of our lives. I was sitting down recently having a conversation with my niece, and I looked at her and just out of curiosity I said, Emily, what is it you want to do when you grow up? And she looked at me with these most beautiful, naive blue eyes, and she said, Tom, when I grow up, I want to be like Supervet off the telly. I want to go around the world and I want to fix animals everywhere. It was the most beautiful thing I ever had. And this is what I said to her. I said, no more to the grand illusion. I said, I'm going to tell her the truth. I said, Emily, when you grow up, at best you're going to be a primary school teacher cleaning gum from the underside of tables with kids looking at you with the same naive eyes, telling you that they want to grow up and do all stupid things. And then I realised the 3rd reason we don't tell kids what life is really like. Because they cry a lot. My niece didn't speak to me for 3 weeks. And that makes me the bad person. I'm the bad person for telling her the truth. This time of year is cold and we watch a lot of television this time of year.
Why they don't want to do it?
Margaret doesn't watch television.
No,
She's not a big watcher of television.
No.
Do you want to come around my house, Margaret? Are you partial to a cuddle? I'm a cuddler.
Oh, yes.
I'm a cuddler, Margaret.
Yeah.
I don't mind a cuddle.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Margaret likes a cuddle. It's always good to know.
And you won't get in trouble.
She loves it, Margaret, but she's always up for a laugh at Margaret. So we're watching too much television. There's a couple of shows on TV that I take issue with, and I hope you agree with me. I mean, why wouldn't you? I'm a genius. The shows I take issue with is number 1, Gogglebox. Watching people watch television. Genius. We've got first dates. Get this is brilliant. People that go on first dates. I don't know. And then where I draw the line is X Factor. That's a show where prima donnas who are ruining music everywhere, because music is nights like this where we've got Pete, we've got the people coming up and playing music that comes from the heart, and they love that. Margaret agrees. I'm not picking on you, Margaret. It's not that I'm picking on you, right? I want a friendship out of this as much as you do, right? Have you got Facebook, Margaret? We got a bunch of prima donnas on the X Factor, going up on stage, killing music everywhere, being judged by Simon Cowell. Don't know if you know this, but he's a man who uses brown toilet paper just so he doesn't see the colour of his own excrement. This time of year is a weird time of year. If you're alone, like I'm single at the moment, I know what you're thinking. How is this hunk of meat single? This 5'7" statue with these wonderful golden locks. How am I single, Margaret? It's a question I've been asking myself for years. It's difficult being single this time of year. Don't have a retaliation to that. She wants to take me home. What do you say to that? When a wonderful lady like Margaret just wants to take you home, you just accept that, don't you? I do have stuff written down, Margaret, but this is all just freestyle. Okay, this is all freestyle. It's all Margaret, I'm learning about you, you're learning about me. It's a beautiful experience. I'll tell you what, 3 more Budweisers and I'm all yours, girl. All yours, sister. All yours. I don't know why I'm putting so much pressure on myself to try and meet somebody. My family's settled down, they're all with somebody. Well, I'm putting a bit of pressure on myself, but the thing that's wonderful when you are single is the support that you get. And there's something my mum keeps telling me, which is, let your character come through. Just let your character shine out of you. Which is sort of a weird thing to say, because that sort of says, well, you're just ugly. Do you know when you've got a fussy eater at the table and they're eating like a misshaped piece of fruit, like a banana that's not quite circular, or an orange that's not quite round?
Right.
And you say, thank you, thank you for reminding me that oranges are round. Almost slipped out there, almost went. And they're eating oranges that might not be round. And you say to them, don't worry, they taste just as good on the inside. That's practically what my mum's telling me. You might not look 100% on the outside, but inside you taste just as good. Don't look too much into that. That wasn't a joke for the fellas. Don't be tasting me. Don't want to be tasting me. I've told you I'm all about Margaret over here. Will someone give Margaret a mic, please? Will someone get her up here? I need a duo. I need a partner. I don't think I'm going to make it on my own. Not had the much luck as of late. Not had the best of luck. I was at a house party recently, and there was a girl there from college. Her name was Ianthe, which is a strange name. It was a Christian name. And I knew her in college, and I never really got with her, or nothing sort of materialised of the flirting that we had, is because she was really Christian. And her father called me Satan spawn. For one reason, really. I've always said, if God is all loving, he wouldn't be able to watch starving Africans starve to death from lack of food, which isn't funny, so I don't really want you to laugh at that. Don't laugh at starving children, not funny. So he called me Satan spawn, but she was at this house party, and my God, she looked absolutely gorgeous, the most gorgeous looking girl I've ever seen. And I punched her in the face. Punched her. A right hooked her in the face. There is a rational story to this. Don't just look and laugh like, oh, he's a woman beater. Oh, is that what he is then? He's a small guy and he's a woman beater. He can't swing his own weight about, so he just punches women. There is a rational story. I saw her and she was drunk. She was quite drunk, and I thought, well, that's got to at least add 6 inches onto my height. I was thinking, this is my chance. I'd only had a few drinks, and I thought, I've got to make my move here. I've got to make this girl love me somehow. So I went up to her, and she was doing that thing that girls sometimes do. And they sort of play fighting with me. She's like flirting with me. You ever play fighting with someone, Margaret? You've never gone up to someone? Get really close to say this. I think Margaret likes it a bit rough. I didn't want this to be a discovery we had to make together. This was probably something we should catch up. We haven't quite passed Watershed, so. But Margaret likes it rough. So she was play fighting with me, and I thought, I've got to create something here. So I said, all right, if you want to play fight, we'll pretend to have a fight. So I went up to her and I said, you pretend to swing for me. She did. She did one of these. I'm going to give you a demonstration, just so you can sort of see. She sort of did one of these. She did it. That's a punch, just in case no one quite got that. And I said to her, I'll swing one back at you, and you move out the way. And also I already said she was somewhat drunk, so her reactions weren't the best. And I brought out the inner Anthony Joshua in me. I was doing it. I pulled all of my right hand side of my body down here like this. I'm going to come away from the mic now, so you might not be able to hear this. Down here, like this. And I just let the inner force come out of me. And where I was expecting her to move out of the way, she didn't. Yeah, practically, yeah. I punched a woman. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Margaret's punched really hard. I was looking at Halloween costumes recently, and I saw a pilot who was pretending to be a blind man. Blind people are going to be annoyed when they see that. I'm running out of things to say. Just going to turn the page here. Just a little one of them. Sorry about that. So we were coming up to Christmas, and I was running out of. I was with a girl at this point. I was with a girlfriend, and I couldn't think of anything to get her for Christmas. And I came up with this genius idea. What I said to her was, I said, at any random point on the lead up to Christmas, all I need you to do is give me a big hint, give me a big shout of what you want. So I was expecting her to shout something like Pandora, like that, just random point. And it was coming up to 2 weeks before Christmas, and I was getting somewhat nervous because she hadn't said anything. We're sitting down and eating a meal, and she looks at me, and she says, "Dummy," dead loud. This psychotic woman wanted a child with someone who can't decide what haircut he wants when he goes to the barber, someone with commitment issues. But that was my idea, so I couldn't say to her, I don't want a child. Have you got any children, Margaret? You got children?
Yeah.
Oh, all over the place.
All over the
Freezing off for bread.
Brilliant. So I've got to find out some way to get out of this. I don't want a child at the age of 20. I'm not a responsible young man in the slightest. So we went up to the bedroom that night and we're fooling around a little bit. And I reached for the contraception because I'm a responsible young man. And she looks at me again. She gives me a cheeky wink and she says, "Dummy, I don't want a child." So I gave her the shout for what I wanted for Christmas, and the most nervous shout possible, and I shouted, "Anal." And to be honest with you, that's about it. I wrote it was about 15 minutes long, to be honest, but that is about it. I hope you enjoyed my time here. I certainly did. Margaret was an absolute delight.
Oh, you've heard as well, have you?
I've heard all the stories, pal. I've heard all the stories. Are you coming home with me? On a serious note. Let's be real.
You'll never get out alive. Don't.
And that's about it, people. So we're going to go back to the music, you know, the people with actual talent. And then I hope you enjoy your evening. And that's about it.
Well,
Okay?
just Tom, give him a big round of applause. Yeah, I've never known anybody who were on